What is up, beautiful people? We are back. It is Friday. It is Saturday. It is whatever day you decide to watch this. Hopefully, again, before 7:30 comes Saturday night when we have another game. But it is Charlotte for the week. It is week number 6. It is game number 5. It is season number 2. We are rocking and rolling. We are getting kind of, not in the midseason, but we're getting into midseason form, definitely with the way we put our structure up today. It's all nice. Perfect and ready. But anyway, inside joke. Y'all don't need to worry about that. But anyway, we are back again. Charlotte for the week. Obviously, we mentioned last week playing Miami. We got all excited about Messi and everything, and just kind of jumping right into it. It was Charlotte 0. It was Miami 0. It was Messi 0. It was DePaul 0. There was, they didn't really play a lot of their players, their starters, if you would. Oh, and shout out the new hat that we did get at the game, by the way, as well. Wanted to kind of shout that out as well. Good gift. Thank you for all the people that did that. Charlotte. Yeah, Atrium. There you go. That's who did that. Shout them out. But anyway, Messi didn't play. That was announced about an hour before the game. A lot of people upset, as you can imagine. Not so much me. I was kind of having fun with some of the fans. I don't think they were having fun back with me when I was mentioning it. But whatever. It was and in the game, just we got kind of excited thinking, okay, well, this could be 3 points to be had for sure here. And then just, I won't say a whole lot of nothing. There was certainly some action in the game. But it was ultimately a 0-0 draw. Very average performance is what I would say. I guess we'll get more into the breakdown here in a second. Obviously, defensively, very sound. Morrison Ajimong in, another, was that his second start? No, that was his first start?
That was his second start.
Yeah, sorry, running all together with me. But absolute baller out there. He had a great game, had one awesome slide tackle there in the box. What a play by him. Obviously, Kalina was Kalina. He had one of the best saves he's ever had, but I don't know if that's true or not. It's just kind of par for the course. Beautiful save on a cross.
And then his hand.
It was a double save.
Like a double save.
Yeah, really beautiful.
I think he got 2 saves for that.
I don't know if you do or not. I didn't actually see, but it was definitely a double save. So we'll call it that. But obviously he was great as he always is. The whole back line, really, I thought Tofolo played well. Byrne got injured kind of early in the game, but stayed in there tough as nails, played his game, and Ream was just doing normal Ream things. So the defense, great. And honestly, I didn't even think Westwood and Bronico, I thought they did just fine.
Sure.
Really, I think where we got to point our blame is on the offensive side, right? They just really didn't show up in the final third. Dean Smith commented on it after the game, saying just weren't there in the final third. And I think that goes for everybody. You guys know I'm a big Zaha guy. Thought this was probably his worst performance by far of the season. Toklamati was really nowhere to be found. He got subbed off kind of late in the game. And Abada had the best chance of the game for us on a breakaway. Obviously, people chasing him, but still one-on-one with the goalie and couldn't even get the shot on target to help out. And so ultimately a 0-0 draw. Pass it off to you guys. Whoever wants to go first, what are our thoughts and what do we take from this game?
I think Vargas had the second best opportunity. He had that shot in the box, and also didn't do much with it. So, I think this was very subpar. To be playing at home, the crowd was hyped. The crowd was in it. And, Messi's not playing. DePaul's not playing. So, I don't know if because they weren't playing, the guys kind of were deflated and let down because they were maybe amped up to play against them. But, they had 7 academy players on the pitch during this game. Okay, so, our first team guys didn't beat Inter Miami's
somewhat second team. B- team.
So, minus Suarez, who's not. But I just think, there again, I love the word grit, and I just didn't really see grit from anybody. I think, like you said, the guys you pointed out, they played well, but I didn't see the tenacity or the drive or taking advantage of the opportunity. It was just very much played in the center third of the pitch and just kind of me.
That's the best word yet. Yeah.
I just don't understand why we didn't have more shots. I don't understand why our counterattack wasn't more aggressive and making things happen. And I think, like you said, Zaha, I was trying to remember one play where I was like, and I was like, I couldn't remember one.
Yeah. He was pretty.
I did have some beers, but Like,
well,
even with the beers, I can usually remember stuff, and he just like,
I at least
There's
yelled
nothing.
"Zaha" a couple
Really.
times, and there was none in this game. I would agree.
so I was mediocre at best.
Yeah, I agree. I think the biggest issue with me is they just didn't create enough chances. I mean, there were very few opportunities. The two good opportunities they did have, which you guys already mentioned, they just squandered them away. But just the volume of shots on goal is not enough. You know, I agree with you about Zaha. It seemed like the ball would go out to the left to him, and the play would just stop. It almost like he waited for players to cut him up, and he wasn't on his A game, and he got another yellow card. That's 4 and 4.
4 games, 4 yellows.
So another one he's suspended. It's not a good night for that.
Would he be the first player suspended before the first month is over? If you get I don't know if that on yellow card accumulation. I don't know if that's the case or not.
I love Zaha, but Zaha not in gives an opportunity for another person to show themselves. Little foreshadowing.
Yeah,
and the legacy preview.
Yeah, and I think we can honestly jump right into it. I mean, we don't need to talk too much about that game. It was 0-0, guys, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what else is there to say? Just just a blog game.
Should have came away with 3.
Should have came away with 3. Came away with 1. That's now 1 win, 1 draw, 2 draws and 1 loss on the season so far. So I guess the one takeaway there is we played 4 games and only lost 1. Yeah. But
we're undefeated at home.
We're undefeated at home.
Undefeated in the new kit too.
That's true. Yeah, 4 points in the new kit.
We've also only scored 1 goal.
Well, we'll get to that here in a second as well. Yeah, not including the red card when they were down 10 men with Austin. Right. But yeah, just not a lot so far in the first month of the season, we would say, to inspire a lot of hope from the senior squad. But talk about a segue. That goes right into our next segment here, Charlotte news for the week. That's my fault there. Before I get into that, though, real quick, couple shout outs from our boys. So it is going to be, not this week, but the following week will be an international break. And we did have some call-ups. Well, one current call-up in Tim Ream. We're used to that one, a mainstay on the United States men's national team. And our former boy at this point.
He'll always be a Charlotte boy.
Always a lad.
He's always going to be our boy.
Big Pat, who you're going to call. He is back on the squad, on the forwards as well. And this is the last window before the World Cup, by the way. So for him to be called up in this window says a lot. I think that speaks to really where he could be come June, right? Which is on that national team, which would be a tremendous step.
Big camp for him.
Absolutely.
He hasn't been scoring a lot of goals in Championship League. Recently, he scored a lot early.
Yeah.
So I think he needs to bank some goals in to keep himself eligible for the team.
I would agree. And then, and kind of speaking of, like I said, where these players came from, we couldn't score, we being the senior team, but our Crown Legacy, we're going to give them a shout out pretty much every single week because they are the best thing for us to talk about right now. Crown Legacy wins 3-0 against Inter Miami's second team, or maybe third team based on who was on the field. I don't know exactly who was actually on the pitch for them. But yeah, they win again 3-0. Once again, Aloko and Berchimas or Berchimas, as they say on the scorecard. Richmond also got a goal in this one. Jack Neely, Isaac Walker did play from the first team in this game, but overall now they are 3-0 on the season. They have scored 14 goals on the season, only giving up 3 so far this year, right? So what a season so far for them. Also, another shout out for Mr. Aloko, Rodolfo Aloko, the guy I've been on since the beginning, by the way, just to toot my own horn. That's true. He won Player of the Match Week for MLS Next Pro, which is the entire league. He was basically the Player of the Week for their league this season. Shout him out. I honestly don't know how either him or Berkimas haven't won it in the first 2 weeks, given how those games have gone. But overall, what a start for this team. And I think this is really where the discussion kind of needs to sit. This is where we're going to have most of our time spent is really on this, because it is obvious and clear that we have players on this team that can put the ball in the back of the net. I know they're younger. I know they're inexperienced. But so far on the senior team, outside of the game where we were playing against 10 men, we have 1 goal scored in 3 games, essentially. A little bit more than 3 games, actually. And so I'll pass it to you guys first. And this can go really any way. I don't really care how, but who needs to be up? Why aren't they up? What's the philosophy on where they should be? Just take it away. Tell me what you think. Anybody?
So, I mean, I think the obvious is Aloko and Berkimas. I mean, I don't know that it does them any good to just be banging in goals in Crown Legacy.
They don't count.
I mean,
technically,
I'd love to see them push some of these first team guys. I mean, bring them up, give them a shot. Think about Inter Miami bringing up their academy players. They played well. the team we're playing this week,
Red Bull.
Red
Yep,
Bulls,
we'll
they're
talk about
doing the
that.
same thing. So I don't know what the hesitancy is. Throw them out there, see what they can do. Put some pressure on those other guys.
Yeah.
For me, when we're at the legacy matches, to me, that entire team is out on that pitch, and every single person is going 110%. It is like they are playing for a spot on the first team, and they have drive, they have tenacity, they have grit. I mean, there is
pizzazz too.
and
they make it look good.
I do think there's like a difference. Like I think the MLS, like our first team, is much more of a possession based league where you don't get. I mean, legacy matches. There's it's basically constant transition. There's not a lot of passing, but I think that is what now is like hindering Charlotte FC. Mm-hmm. I think for us, we've gotten stuck in this like let's just possess the ball. I'm sorry. We cannot break down defenses by just passing and trying to make a run off the ball or looking for it. We have the players that can create. And when you go to a legacy match, you'll see Berkey Moss, you'll see Tim Richmond, you'll see Oloko, you'll see Chegbu when he's in there. They will get the ball on the wing, or they'll just go straight down the middle and pass out. They will attack and try to make something happen. They are not like around the 18, passing it back and forth. Someone kind of makes a run, but you didn't pass it to them, so then they drop back. They are constantly moving that ball and like going to goal. And like I can't even tell you how many.
They're hungry. They're
like it
I
is
don't see that hunger right now.
Such a difference. And I just like when the first team when you have that one player that does try to create, it's like one person's kind of going with them, and we can't just rely on Biel and Zaha to be our playmakers and creating for us. That's not working. All those guys have the potential to do something, and they just sit there and pass the ball back and forth, and then. Okay, well, we're going to do the classic play it up to the wing and then cross it to the middle. We don't really have people with the height and the body size to be like
don't have big Pat in there.
Like an aerial game.
And how many times has my key to the game this season been transition, right? I think that's where we do need to be able to burn teams and get it going, right? So that's absolutely true, spot on, in my opinion, is what we've been lacking is exactly what these guys at least have brought to the next level or next pro level of competition. Now stepping up maybe a little bit different, right? But I think everything that they have shown on the pitch deserves, or at least, deserves the opportunity to see what it can do at the next level.
I've not seen anything from us off the bench from the first team. I mean, we think about Vargas coming off the bench. He hasn't had a goal contribution. Yep. We know he can do it. Your boy Archie, I hate to say it, we've not seen anything from him. Tiger Smalls, I mean, I don't even know what he's doing up there. Put somebody else out there and see what they do. Abada,
well, exactly.
And all of these players play in these positions where these guys coming off the bench that aren't producing.
All right, and I got a thought there. Can I lay something on you guys?
Sure.
Just a little trust tree between us and I guess all the people out there watching as well. So I got a little, we kind of were texting about it, and I had some philosophies. I wanted to save them for the show, and so I just kind of want to put them out here now. Well, don't get too excited. I don't know, like this isn't going to be
what is it? Mind blowing.
Well, maybe it will. I don't know, but this is kind of where my head's at.
All right, spit it out already.
So we talk about bringing them up, and why can't we bring them up? And I think we all agree. Again, we just talked about it for the last few minutes. They deserve the opportunity. We know. With the MLS and the roster construct, the way that it works, can limit that, right? Yeah. And so we have our 3 DPs already, right? They are set in stone at least through June. More on that in a second, but they're set in stone. We have our U22s, 3 of them. They're set in stone, right? And so when we go try to bring a player up like Oloko, who I know we spent more than $1.5 million on, right? I think that upsets the overall roster restrictions. I don't know that. Right. I'm not like roster cap, maestro over here, but that's kind of my assumption and maybe why. Same thing with Berkemas. I think if you bring a player of that caliber up, again, I don't know how that works against the cap or if it doesn't, how it goes. So my whole philosophy behind why they're not being brought up is simply because they can't be.
But keep going.
Yep. So this is kind of where I'm at. This is my thought is Zoran at the point right now where, okay, we can kind of play this first, let's say 10 to 15 games, whatever it is until the World Cup comes. Obviously, we have a 2-month break at that point, right? Can he at that point, that's obviously when Zaha's contract ends unless he does get extended. Mm-hmm. That is also a great point to make trades within, the international window at that point, the transfer window, right? With European squads, we can't do that at this present moment. Does he play these first 15 games or however many it is before this World Cup? See where we stand. Hey, maybe we get on a roll and we're sitting first, second place, whatever.
Mhm.
Zaha scoring goals, Abada's banging in goals and assists. And at that point, he's like, okay, you know what? These are the players for us, not only right now, but for the next 2 years. Let's get it locked in. Let's keep them going. Let's keep it rolling. And at that point, does he look to move on from players like Aloko and Berkhamaz and make a lot of money in the transfer window that way? Or other side of things, hey, maybe we're sitting 6th, 7th place, right, somewhere around there. We're winning the same way we're currently winning, which is maybe 1-0 or drawing 0-0, not putting a lot of production out there. Does he then clean house at that point in terms of, hey, Zaha, we love you, but we can't bring you back?
Yeah.
Hey, Abada, we paid more for you than anybody on the team, and you gave us 0 goal production.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to ship you off. Open up those 2 spots. Berkhamaz, you get a 3-year contract. Aloko, you get a 3-year contract. You are our players.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
But I hear what you're saying, but Berkhamaz is already on the first team. He's already part of the first team roster, and he's a homegrown, but he's also taking up a supplemental spot. So him not being on the pitch, I don't think that's a roster restriction issue.
Burns everything I said, but
no,
yes,
but
at the same time.
But I think what you said about Aloko is very true. And I mean, because Bay Koulibaly is also on the first team roster as a supplemental or a U22 initiative. So I do think there's not the space for Aloko, like you said. And I do think at this point, with us not having anything in stone with Zaha, and we've already know we kind of want to move on Abada. I still don't understand though. I mean, it's not like you're going to get rid of Zaha and Abada and have 2 academy players, or not academy players, but 2 legacy players come up and fill your 2 DP spots. That's kind of a little crazy.
It is.
But I do think, why not? I mean, they're the only ones proving right now.
They have the flexibility to go 2 DPs and 4 U22 initiative players. So there's some ways that they can move players around. And also, I think you make a really good point, Mark, because right now, I mean, Berkhamaz is playing. He's the left winger, and that would be where Zaha's playing. So is it better for him to play on Crown Legacy for 90 minutes a game or 80 minutes a game versus sitting behind Zaha and playing 10 minutes a game?
Right. I mean, I'm assuming they're still training together a good amount of the time, right? So he's still learning from Zaha, and they're kind of feeding off each other in that way. And like I said, I'm not a roster guru over here where I understand every single bit of it. And so that kind of helped clear at least a little bit of that picture out. But to me, that could make sense, but it does leave you kind of in a space. And again, we've seen Zoran just be pretty non-committal on the whole, Wilfred Zaha saga, if you will, from the beginning, right? And so I obviously I love Zaha, number 1 fan, I would say, on the show, perhaps. But at the same time, again, he is 32, 33. Right. And we have this kid that we did spend a pretty good amount of money on for a relative unknown, but he has come over and he's got the size, he's got the strength, he's obviously got the grit, as you guys have mentioned, and he's got the goals, right? And so I'm just wondering if it is just a situation where he's being mum to the, he being Zoran, mum to the situation and just going to let that contract expire and let, Zaha go back and, hey, Aloko, it's your team at this point, right? So we'll see.
Maybe Zoran's playing chess and we're just all thinking checkers.
And I do know every legacy match, I will tell you someone who's sitting up there in that box is Zoran.
Yeah.
I know that last year when we went, he would be there every now and then, but he was not there. He has been at every legacy match so far. So I definitely think they're doing some talking and trying to figure out some of the next steps for the first team.
Okay. Any other, again, that was just a hypothetical that I was thinking about, again, over the last really couple of weeks, but specifically last night when we were texting about it. Is there any other thoughts there about why they wouldn't be, especially Berkhamaz, if he's already on the first team or has a first team contract? That one really doesn't make any sense to me at that point, other than, to your point, they don't want him to rot away on the bench for the whole season. Right.
Yeah. I mean, not really. I think just knowing what we know about Zaha, I don't think that would go over well.
Right.
I don't either.
Berkey Moss coming in and taking significant time away from him. So,
But
you know,
I also feel like Berkey Moss can play on both sides of the ball. I feel like we've seen him on both sides of the ball at the legacy matches. So I'm like, give either one of them. And I feel like you also get so many games before you had some games. So let them come up there, see what they do, and then figure out your roster. Because guess what? The roster you have going right now ain't doing a lot for us on the pitch.
Yeah, it's not producing goals, right? Like we said, one goal outside of the game where they had 10 men, we have scored one goal in 3 matches.
And you should be scoring it if they
right. And so exactly that. Maybe it's a situation where once the U.S. Open comes around, we do, maybe they can get minutes at that point, let them do that competition and see how it goes. And maybe that's kind of their not sink or swim moment, but kind of their, hey, welcome to the league type moment where they can come in and we can see how they can produce and moving forward. But just, an interesting take. And it's hard to ignore at this point with the amount of goals being scored at one level and the lack of goals being scored at the senior level, right?
There's got to be a point, though, where if they keep on the way they are right now, you're not going to be able to keep them off the first team.
That's exactly my point, right? I mean, your job as the general manager is to put the best 11 on the field. It doesn't matter what your name is at the end of the day, right? If this is your best player.
They're going to start getting noticed. I mean, they're just doing that well. And so if you want to come see for yourself this Sunday night, the 22nd of March at the Sportsplex, 7:00 p.m., you too can come see the legacy.
Get out there.
Are they playing Red Bull too, I assume?
I don't know who they're playing, but remember, it is free. And so you have no excuses to come out and you can tell us what you think about these guys on the legacy match and what are the legacy games and why they're not on the pitch.
Absolutely. And I think that's a good way to kind of put it. Again, this day after Saturday. So obviously Saturday, be there, be at the bank. And then the next day for your kind of after the, not appetizer, what would be your dessert? Yeah, your dessert. And this is a dessert with some freaking banana pudding with the vanilla wafers on top type dessert, right? This is a good dessert that we're talking about in the Crown Legacy. Again, 22nd of March, 7 p.m., Matthews Sportsplex. Be there. All right. And so, we wanted to take a lot of time, obviously, to kind of go through that. That was a very interesting and fun debate to kind of go through with the Legacy. Just due to you guys, I know you guys love us and everything, but I'm sure you don't love, hour-long videos. So I am just going to roll through for around the league this week. Just kind of read off the scores real quick, no context, just so you see it. I'm sure Gabby will post them there on her nice, pretty graphic on the side. Thank you, Gabby. But real quick, we'll start at the top. So Toronto and New York Red Bull, team we play this week, they draw 1-1. Atlanta gets their first win. They win 3-1 over Philadelphia. Columbus loses 0-1 to Nashville at home. Of course, Charlotte, Miami draw 0-0, as we mentioned. New York City FC win at home 3-1 over Colorado. They're hot. Orlando gets a win 2-1 over Montreal. Chicago loses 1-2 at home to DC United. Not great. Dallas 3, San Diego 3. Surprising score there. Houston 3, Portland 2. LA Galaxy 1, KC 2. Interesting. Salt Lake City continues to win 2-1 over Austin. LAFC, another clean sheet, 2-0. Haven't given up a goal all year, by the way.
You should have played soccer on Sunday.
And then, Sunday. Wow, look at these scores. New England 6, Cincinnati 1. What's going on with Cincinnati?
That's crazy.
Vancouver 6, Minnesota 0. And then the more tame, San Jose 0, Seattle 1. And those are your scores for the week. What was it, week 4?
Yes.
Week 4 scores. Right.
Interesting. Some of the teams that we thought would be at the top of the East are right now at the bottom. Cincinnati, Philadelphia, Columbus, Orlando.
Crazy.
They're all down at the bottom.
So maybe we're not doing as bad as we think, guys.
That's
We're
true.
getting a little upset, and maybe they're their podcast
really
man, those are something. But anyway, again, we'll get the standings probably after the bye week. I would say after the international bye is when we'll start to post those, but nothing now. Right on to the next segment. The thing that started it all, it is the match day preview. As we kind of mentioned before, it is Charlotte FC, 1 win, 1 loss, 2 draws, going up against New York Red Bull, the upstart Red Bulls, at 2 wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss. This is going to be a game of big kind of differences in ages on the field, more than likely, unless we do call up a loco. They're all maybe watch this podcast the night before and bring them up the night before. Assuming that doesn't happen, The average age difference between our starting 11, Charlotte's, and their starting 11, the Red Bull, is 4.7 years, which may not sound like a lot, but that's half a decade in soccer might as well be a lifetime, right? So that is quite a big difference in age discrepancy there. They are also having a first-time head coach in, again, another U.S. men's national legend there, Michael Bradley. It is his first year at the helm. Red Bull pretty much have exclusively ran a 4-3-3 as their formation throughout the season. They're led by two teenagers, talking about youngsters, right? I mean, and I'm not talking like 19-year-old teenagers. They're led by Julian Hall, their striker, who is 17 years old. And then their center midfielder, Adri Mehmeti, I think I'm pronouncing that right. He's only 16 years old, being looked at by, all the big teams right now. Those are kind of their two best players, and combined, their age doesn't equal mine, which makes me feel quite old.
Mehmeti, he might not even be driving a car. He might have his mom still might be.
He's taking him to the game, and he's whooping ass on the field. Yep, and then hey, you got to be home by 12. But anyway,
crazy.
But that's kind of their team. Guys, I just want to maybe hear from you any keys to the game from our side or other tidbits that maybe you thought of that want to jump in.
I know they started off hot. Red Bulls started off hot and winning their first two, I believe.
Yep.
We watched them. I forget who they were playing, but they didn't play as well and got kind of beat up. But the one thing,
lost to Montreal.
They did 3-0.
Yeah. The one thing about historically, Red Bulls have been that high press team, which we've struggled with.
Yep.
And the game that we watched, they seem to want to possess the ball a little bit more. So hopefully, we'll be able to open that up. And if they're not pressing as high, maybe we can handle a little better.
I mean, I think our players got to create. We got to have tenacity. We have to have grit. We're not going to be able to sit back and just hang out and pass the ball around. I mean, obviously, Red Bull, they have the youngsters. They're out there. They want to prove. Everybody's eyes are on them. They have nothing to lose. No one's expecting a 16 and 17-year-old being able to, manage a game and stuff like that. So
I think go at them.
I
see if they can handle it.
Sit back and we're on our heels and we try to play a possession game. I think we're just opening ourselves up to potentially just another draw. We can't afford to just sit back and just.
I agree. I think you guys said it perfectly, and that is my key to the game is to kind of reverse reverse the roles. Role reversal, right, is what I'm looking for. We talk about them being a high press team historically. That is what we have to do to this team in this game. I get that they have been composed for the most part, especially at their age.
Yeah.
But eventually, if you keep that press up and keep cracking, I think their age will show eventually, right? And so, to me, Pep Biel, he's always the key to the game, but specifically with his high press in this game, to me, he's even more of the key. He's going to be the one leading the press more than likely, and so I just think him and Bronico as well. If we're going to throw him out,
I would say Bronico against Mehmeti. I mean, you're going to have someone. You are going to get on his nerves. He is going to be on you like white on rice. So
that to me is the key. Is just a consistent pressure at the right times. Right, you don't want to press for press sake, but at the same time, as consistent and as forceful as you can be on that press. That to me is going to be the key. Get yourself some easy opportunities where we aren't having to start from the back every time, get that ball up in the third to start, and then it's maybe one pass and put it in the net. So that's kind of my thought. Brian, what do you think?
Yeah, I think I'd like to see high volume of shots on goal. Just more intensity in the final third. I know, Dino talks about shots outside the box aren't his favorite thing, but sometimes I think that opens up a defense. So, I just more shots.
More shots, yeah. You've got to see something like that, and not the. It is on St. Patty's Day, not like the Irish car bomb shots. We need actually get shots.
Shots on frame and on goal, which is great.
Exactly. Okay.
Ones that goalies have to make a save on. I think we have to have a high press. We have to be tenacious. We're not scoring goals, so we have to create them. We have to cause them to panic. We have to cause them to turn the ball over. And then we have the speed. We have the players. We can see what Abada most of the time can do one-on-one, attacking a defense. So I don't want to see us sit back and just possess the ball and
sometimes it feels like
it's just
we got to make the perfect play. We got to make the perfect final pass. where I mean, sometimes what soccer calls for is just like get it in the mixer and just see what happens. You know, good things happen if you get it in the ball in dangerous spots.
And I mean, that happens to us all the time. How many times the other teams throw the ball in the box and good things happen, or they at least attack and we get deflections, and we just don't do that.
I agree. Yeah, I would love. I think always an early goal is great, but right. I mean, yeah, set that press early, get it going, get a goal within the first 10 minutes, get the crowd up and lively, and I think that we can see it through from there. And I guess that's the perfect way to get into the actual predictions. Kind of last segment here. Amy, I'll start with you. What do we think?
I'll start with me because you might want something different after mine. Okay, so I have been less than impressed with what we put on the pitch. I mean, yes, we won our home opener, as we should have. We were down a man.
They were down a man.
Well, yeah, they were down a man. We were up a guy. We played against 10, so we should be able to score and win a game when the other team only has 10 players on the pitch. I'm going 1-1, guys. Ooh. I'm going to draw.
Is that your first ever non-Charlotte?
It is my first ever non-Charlotte pick. But right now, I'm just not seeing it. I mean, if I saw tenacity and grit and I had, if we would have come out and taken shots and their keeper just had, the saves of his life and just, then they would different. But I don't see where we're going to get the goals. I don't see... I don't know. I just see these youngsters for Red Bulls. They're going to create. We know they can score. So I'm going 1-1.
Who's your goal scorer?
The one that kicks it off their foot and it goes in the net. That's what I'm going with. No,
you got to pick somebody.
Yeah, I'm going to go Pep Biel because really he's been the only person to truly prove he has the potential to score a goal or more than one goal this season.
Is this your attempt at reverse psychology kind of thing?
I mean, I think maybe in my heart, I'm like, maybe if I say it's going to be a 1-1 draw and we win or score a lot of goals, I'll feel really good about it. But, that's what I'm going with. 1-1 draw. So somebody else pick it up from there.
I'll jump in there then. And I could hear it you guys already know, of course, Amy is a teacher, and you could hear it in her voice. It was basically the whole class just made a D+ on their last, exam. Or what is that one called that we were talking about last week? The
MVPA.
The MVPA. Yeah, they all just spelled their MVPAs. That's what Charlotte has done for you so far, leading to this pick. And so I heard the disappointment in the voice. Hey, I'm still of the opinion Charlotte FC is a good team. Charlotte FC is a good team. They are a championship level team.
Just can't score.
They need to prove it, right? And so I think, like I said, they've got to pick the press up. They've got to be able to pick the ball up in much higher positions for that to happen. I think it happens at least a couple of times. Yes, I don't think we're going to light the world on fire all of a sudden in 1 week, but I do think we pull out the victory. I do think it's 2-1 Charlotte.
Okay,
is my prediction for this game, and I do think Pep Biel is going to be on the score sheet. If he's not on it 1 week, he will be the next week. In my opinion, he's got to score. And then for my other one, like I said, you kind of do scratch your head and say who at this point will score. My best bet would have to be Zaha. He hasn't put the ball in the back of the net yet. He's coming off his worst game probably as a Charlotte player. Mm-hmm. And he's going to hear the chatter of me saying that, hey, maybe a Loco or Berkova should be in his spot. He's going to be like, watch this. So I would say those are my 2 goal scorers. Charlotte takes the 3 points, 2-1.
Okay.
A Loco would become an after Toclamati's spot.
That's, true. Either or, Berkmas, all of them.
Okay, so you guys last week, I think both of you have scoring 4 goals.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that was sadly overstated.
They're lowered our expectations quite a bit.
We deleted that part of the video.
I'm going to go a little more conservative too. I do think we get the win and 3 points. I'm going 1-0.
Oh,
Dino special.
Yeah, I just, I'm like you all. I'm not sure where the goals are coming from, but I think Toclamati is our goal scorer this week, and I could see Zaha, but I'm going with Toclamati. He needs to get rolling also.
I would disagree. They all need to get rolling to a certain degree, right? We honestly, you heard it all in our voice, right? The uncertainty right now of where everything's at. And that's a sad place to be, but you know what can make it all better is 3 points on Saturday.
By all means.
It is a week-to-week league or game-to-game league.
Prove it's all wrong.
Yes.
Score the hell out of it. Just put up 4 or 5. Make us have to swallow our pride next week. I'll gladly swallow my pride if you can do that. but I just don't have confidence. to
Yeah.
win.
Well, let's see it then. So just as a recap again, 1-1 here, draw 2-1 for me, 1-0 over there. Not a lot of goals on the board this week, but as long as it's 3 points for your boys in black and blue, it'll all be fine.
I just got to point one thing out, and I think this just speaks to our confidence or lack of confidence. I said Toklamati, and Mark didn't even get up and twerk.
No.
I'm very disappointed.
I mean, that's where we are, guys.
Yeah.
That is my fault.
Bad.
You know what? Yeah.
No.
Twerk. I got to show off my green pants. Twerk.
Okay, I feel better now.
Yeah, all right. You're right about that. Yeah, so
Thanks for bringing that.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
that was one of my worst twerks ever, too. You can
I'm
just feel
not
it in
sure
the
the
hips.
others were better, but
Oh, watch the tape. The others are great, Amy. My hips are fluid. But this
Hips
one,
don't lie.
yeah, the hips don't lie.
Okay,
There we go.
Shakira.
Yeah. Well, in any case,
Wow.
this one's going off the rails, so
Yeah.
we'll go ahead and put a
Let's
crown
put the
on
crown
the end
back
of it.
on.
And
My
yes,
crown
as
on.
always, guys, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Again, if you don't have plans for Saturday, you should already have them. It's for the bank at 7:30 Saturday night. Be there. It's Brian's birthday.
on Sunday.
On Sunday.
So come
Come
see him
with
at the
me.
Legacy match.
Yeah, buy me a beer for my birthday.
There we
That
go.
was $6 at
Yeah,
the Legacy
$6 at the Legacy match.
There we go. So be there. Let's watch it. Again, we're all hoping and see. We're praying at this point. 3 points for the crown. See you next week.